Your lessons for today, for this week, this is where you are. Everybody should be in lesson 5. And your assignments are these, okay? You don't have a discussion, you don't have a project that you're submitting to me. So all of your assignments is scored electronically for your participation. Okay, these 3 in the middle, your multiple intelligence, personality traits, and your learning style assessments. I encourage everyone to do this. Of course, it's your grade, but also it will help you to learn more about you. Learn how you are intelligent. Learn about your personality. Learn about how you learn. Okay? So these assessments help you. These assessments, people pay professionals to administer them and also to score them. But you get all of those done in this course. So you pay for it because you have this class. So I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. It'll help you also in your career path and plan, because some people are focused, they know that, you know what, Anthony, I'm doing construction, it's a profitable business, lucrative business, and you're probably inclined in that area. But in addition to that, he may be a artist. Do you do music? See, he wouldn't know. See, and while he's doing construction, he could also be building up that side of his gifts and talents. And you never know where to take you. You have a band. Somebody else is an artist in here. You do beats, right? You can be singing on your. You are an artist. You don't just do beats. You do everything, right? That's right. You're supposed to be in the garage making some music, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Anybody else with a guitarist?
No.
Anybody guitars in here? Anybody guitars? Play the flute? Okay. All right. So it helps you to know about you. All right. So for our lesson today. Today's lesson, we're talking about 2 things, your learning style and also your self-concept. So you can discover you, learn about you. Now, is it important for your professors to know about you? No. Many of them won't really care. That is the truth. But of course, Miss Gift cares. That's why I asked you to check in. That's why we say happy birthday, because I care, okay? All right, but everybody does it. So, but it's important that you learn about you and know you, because the more you know about yourself, the more you have an advantage in life, then the more you'll be able to project who you are, the way you are, in the right way, okay? Because you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, you know how to excel and be successful. So learn about you. All right, so everybody acquires knowledge differently. That is your learning style. So we have a preferred way of learning. The read writers are the people that it has to be written down, and then I have to write notes. Once I read it, that's text, black and white, and I'm writing something down, I understand it, I comprehend it, and I can practice it. How many of you are the reading writers? Okay, we got 2, all right. How many of you visual people? I need to see pictures, diagrams. I need to see something. Okay, most people here are visual. All right, auditory. You have to tell me. I cannot just stay home and learn. I need a lecturer. I need someone to talk, communicate something so that I can hear. Anybody auditory? No? Okay, what about verbal? Once you're talking to somebody about a concept, you understand it. Anybody like that? Yeah, okay, that's me as well. While I'm teaching, I learn myself. I can teach anything. And if you give me information, I can teach it because I'm a teacher. But once I start teaching, I actually understand it myself. All right, tactile and kinesthetics. You need to do something, touch something, put your hands on something. How many of you all need to touch something? How many of you were the kids in school that always had something in your hand, in your mouth, just always fiddling with stuff? Like, keep still. Those are the kinesthetic style learners. So if you have siblings, children, or people, peers, this is how they learn. So for them, it's better for them to do something while they're actually learning, writing, fiddling with something. It helps them to learn. Everybody's different. All right, now there are multiple theories of intelligence. The way that you are intelligent. There are 8 theories that the text covers. These are the 8 here. So when you think about intelligence, This is how you are intelligent. Now, some people they have a strong, dominant area of intelligence in one of these 8 areas. For some people, it's kind of blended, but you might see yourself somewhere here. Some people are logical, mathematical. How many of you are into the math and the science heavy? All right, it makes sense, you get it. Like calculus, like what? That's just, you do calculus like it's nothing, right? Yeah, statistics, things like that, figures, it makes sense to you. It communicates to you, it's easy to assimilate. Some people are like that. Linguistics, the production and use of language. Anybody here knows more than 2 languages? Fluent in more than 2? Okay? Or have the ability to learn. Maybe you're not fluent, but you can pick up on other languages when people are saying. Okay, that's linguistic. So people in that area, I encourage you to learn another language. Think about your career field and what language would be important to also learn because of the market that you're in. And learn it because you have the ability. You have a great intelligence in that area, so you can actually do that. Spatial intelligence. These are artists or architects, the ones that can see, design, create. How many are the spatial intelligence? You can take this and come up and be inspired. Like if somebody does this, you can come up with something because you're hearing something. It's spatial, all right? Well, that's more musical, but it's the same concept. Those who are creators. All right, interpersonal. You are intelligent in learning people. You have a great sense of reading people's moods, temperaments, know how to adjust, know what to say, know how to back off a little bit, be patient. How many of you all are interpersonal? Learning people, that is a great skill. How many people know people who are just like no social cues, just nothing like that? How many of you are like that? Somebody always telling you that you're saying the wrong thing all the time at the wrong time. Anybody? Be honest. They're like, why did you say that? Anybody say, did you say that? I can't believe you did that. Anybody have those moments? Y'all try to act like it ain't you. You know somebody told y'all that. Okay. All right. Now, intrapersonal intelligence means that you're very self-aware. You have a strong self-awareness. You know when you're saying the right thing, you know when you're saying the wrong thing. You know when you need to adjust yourself. You know how to present yourself. You can flow in the moment. You know how to work people, situations, circumstances, because you have a very strong self-awareness. Anybody here? Okay. Now, musical intelligence. Okay, related to music. Anybody can get inspiration from music just, out of nowhere. It's like just something just comes to you. You could be somewhere else and then something about music just, you get a flow or beat, or somebody says something and it like gives you something to work with. Are you like that? You're a writer, right? So what gives you inspiration?
No, I don't write.
You don't write? Okay, which one do you you rap? But you make music too, right? So beats. All right, so how do you come up with your sound? What gives you that inspiration?
Listening to like music in my playlist.
Okay, so you listen to different artists and you hear certain things and it triggers you. Okay. Everybody learns different, is intelligent differently. Somebody else is like, I don't get it, okay? All right, who are the dancers, the athletes, the actors, the surgeons? People who need to put their hands on something to learn. Intelligent, yes. You're a dancer?
No.
Any actors in the house? Any dancers? Any dancers? Athletes? I know we have some athletes. She like a little bit, yeah, okay. All right, you need to do something, build something, move something. And the naturalistic intelligence are those who can look at nature and get revelations about life. You can watch the bees, you can watch the birds, you can watch the wind blowing, see the stream of water flowing, and it tells you about life. Anybody like that? Yeah, okay. So everybody has intelligence in different areas, in different ways. Now there are 4 major personality dimensions. How many of you know which one are you? Before we even discuss that, which one do you think you are? Yes?
I guess I can be introverted sometimes, but extroverted when I like people.
I like that. She said when she like people, she's extrovert, when she's introvert sometimes. All right, anybody, do you see yourself here? Which one do you think is you before we discuss? Who are you? Which one? Syed, which one are you? Which one do you think is you? Which one do you think you are?
Thinkers.
You're a thinker? Okay, okay, I can see that. All right, anybody has friends in here? Like, friends that really know you? No, that's okay. All right, which one are you?
Dimensions.
Which one do you think you are? The feeler? Okay, let's see. All right, so introvert is the one that likes to do things independently, meaning that they can work from home, they can be on their own, and they're fine, okay? Extroverts are those that like to that they have to have a social interaction. If they're not connecting with people, they're not fulfilled, they're not satisfied, something is missing in them. So, between those two, are you introvert or extrovert? Which one? Are you the one that's independent, you can just be on your own and you do your thing? Or you really need other people? You need to go somewhere you're seeing people communicating with them on a daily. Which one? Introvert? Okay. All right, intuitors versus sensors. Intuitors are those that have that intuition, that inner sensing, that inner knowing. Those are the ones that are intrapersonal, intelligent, and they really have a great sense of awareness, and also they're interpersonal and intrapersonal, meaning you have awareness of others, okay? Those are the intuitors. The sensors is, you're not sensing anything. It's based on what you see. It's facts, black and white. This person said that is it. So which one are you, intuitors or a sensor? Which one are you? Intuitor or a sensor? Sensor, okay. Yes, sir. Sensor, okay. All right, thinkers versus feelers. The feelers are those who are spontaneous people that from class, they didn't have a plan, they can go out with their friends to lunch, they can pop up on somebody, make some phone calls, just do something totally different, outside of the plan, the schedule. Those are the feelers. Based on how you're feeling. If I'm feeling great, we're great. If I'm not feeling great, everything in the world is over, it sucks. Some people are like that. When they're in a bad mood, the whole world is just, those are feelers, because you're changing based on your moods and your feelings. But the thinkers are the ones who want to think things through, sometimes that is great. And then sometimes they get stuck in their thinking, processing. Okay, so in every area there is, the strengths or you have the extremes. So which one are you, thinkers or a feelers? So how many spontaneous people are here? Body central, yeah, just one, okay. Oh, 1.5? Okay. All right, perceivers versus judgers. Judgers are those that, what's your name? Matthew, you're Matthew. And what's your name?
Jameer.
Jameer and Matthew was walking in class tomorrow. It won't happen. It will never happen. Jameer was on his phone and he wasn't paying attention. Maybe talked to some girls, I don't know. And he pushed, the girl said something that he didn't like. And he got something and went back and it hit Matthew. Matthew like, what? So Matthew, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give him a, what son, what's up? You gonna take it outside? Or are you going to look at the context? What do you do, Matthew?
I don't even know.
You don't even know. And that's what some other students, they say the same thing. They're like, I don't even know what happened in that moment. Okay, those are the judges. Because in that moment, it's either on or off. There's no time to think about what could have been the issue, nothing. But other people, if it happened, how many people would actually, they know in their real nature, they wouldn't react that way. They'll think about, like, what's going on? What happened? How many people? What you said? I don't know that. You're judging, okay? But so that's where we are. That's how we are. So everybody has a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It helps you understand your personality. Now, the origins of your learning styles based on the way your brain processes information. So the way our body's designed is that our brain has different functionings and process information for different purposes. So your left side of your brain is for your verbal competence, reading, writing, speaking, thinking, reasoning. But your right side of the brain is for all of these other aspects. Now, the greater intelligence you have is the ability to get both of them functioning at optimal level. So for some people, it's easier to flow in this area, but it takes more work to flow on that side. So what you do, you have to spend more time. Spend more time reading, speaking, thinking, processing, intentionally, okay? Practicing it more. For some people here, they can't draw, they're not interested in music or anything, but they have to make themselves be more creative. So it's a way to develop both of them. So which one are you, generally, is left brain processing? How many of you are the left brainers? Functions more. And how many of you are the right brain processing? Creators, drawing, recognition patterns, okay? So everyone, learn how to activate both sides. If anybody has family members or know people that are stroke victims, this is why it's such a wicked disease, because you have a regular person and then they lose one of those functioning processes. And then also, if anybody knows people that have any type of intellectual difference, I'll say it that way, not necessarily disability, but just a difference, it's based on how the brain is processing information. So one thing I encourage people, just be patient with people. You never know who and how people are. You know, some people, they did not determine to be that way. So if you notice that something is a little different in the way that they're processing information, you know, one of these areas could have had a deficiency or just something that's not as it should be, not normal, okay? And just be patient with people. Learn to be good to people and be patient. All right, we have a variety of learning styles. Now, your learning styles reflects your preference. It doesn't mean that that's fixed. That's the way you learn, that's the way you're intelligent. No, but you can learn to adapt. So it's very necessary when you think about your professors, your work, or even your coworkers. You have a company, so you'll have people working for you. Now, as a business owner, as people are being trained on the job about different things, you're gonna have some that needs to see writing, some people need to hear it, some people need to do something, and some people need to see something. So you have to have that understanding that everybody does not assimilate information the same way you do. So you have to be able to understand and reach people on all sides, okay? Especially if you want to work with other people. Everybody's not like you. All right, so our learning styles is based on 3 different theories of learning. You have the operant, the cognitive, and the classical. Does anybody know about any of these already? Okay. Operant conditioning is based on reinforcement. You see, what areas of your life, when do you think that you experience the most reinforcement and learning throughout your lifetime? This is your adulthood now, maybe adolescence, maybe childhood. When do you think reinforcement was mostly utilized in your development, in your learning development? Yes.
Most likely the adolescent stage.
Adolescent? Okay, give me an example. What do you think?
Like, for example, like when you're a kid, when you're younger, they're teaching you, but then once you're in high school or becoming more of an adolescent, you're doing it kind of on your own based off what you already learned.
Okay.
Writing your own papers and whatnot.
Okay, that's a little different. When this theory deals with reinforcement, it is talking about something that is reinforcing that learning. Okay, so if you're a child, and anybody play soccer, football, footballers, how old were you when you started playing?
6.
When you were 6 or 7, did you score a goal?
No.
Okay, but what did your parents do, or your team? They were still clapping for you and saying good job, right? Or did they say, you suck? What kind of kid are you? Get off my field. All right? Everybody was a little kid, they started playing, and you were the greatest, right? That's reinforcement. So what did that do? If they said, you suck, go home at 6, you won't go back to play, right? Okay? All right, so you were reinforced to continue practicing, continue playing, and now you're one of the world's greatest, right? Hey, look out for him. All right, so that's what happened. That's reinforcement. So something is reinforcing that behavior, that learning that you want to do. So if your coach is telling you to do it this way, when you do it that way, you get that kudos. You're going to continue to do it that way. That's reinforcing your learning. So when it comes down to your lessons, your schoolwork, work, your business, reinforcing your learning, of course, if you're getting A's, it will encourage you to continue, show up for class, to submit your assignments on time, talk to your teacher, whatever got you the A, it's gonna reinforce your ability to continue to do that. So that's outward conditioning. Now, cognitive learning theory is similar almost to what you were saying. It is based on observation. You can watch, observe how others are doing, what they're doing, think about it, and then know that what you need to do to change and to readjust. That's cognitive. Now, classical conditioning, one example of classical conditioning I can use is, what about a parent that is with their child, a mother, because I'm a mother, and for whatever reason, the children are just being children, and that mama take off her shoe. What's gonna happen to those students, those children? She take off her shoe. Children just acting, she just reach down, take off that one shoe. Now she take off her shoes, that means she wanna change her shoe. Well, if she take off that one shoe, hold it in her hand, what is gonna happen to the children's behavior? They are going to change their behavior. Why? Because that shoe lets them know that there's something that's gonna happen to correct my behavior. That's classical conditioning. So the child is conditioned to say, hey, I don't wanna see that shoe. When that shoe comes out, that means something's gonna happen, and I don't want that to happen. Now, does anybody have any experiences with classical conditioning as a child? That there's something in your mind that you'll never forget. You know, you got that last one good one for the rest of your life, and you were fixed. Anybody tell us?
I was kissing my teeth, and then my mom heard me from all the way down the hall, and I just heard her like stop, and she just came in, and she was just.
And then what happened?
And like, cause she was gonna pop me, so I jumped on the bed, and she was like,
You made it work.
yeah, and yeah, and she did end up getting me.
She did, she got you in the
She
end.
got me.
Some mothers are very persistent, okay? So I would have been you made me run, you made me chase you? Oh my God, what made me work? Anybody else have an example? Classical conditioning, yes.
Alright, so
Does the
I
name?
was in 5th grade in elementary school, and I forgot what specifically I did. I probably talked back to a teacher, you know what I mean? But like, I remember it so vividly because I come home, I'm thinking, oh, they don't know, it's fine. My dad comes in my room, got that look on his face, belt just already right here. He's like,
Oh, wow.
so your teacher called, and I'm like, yeah, they did. So then that happens. My mom come home from like a 7-hour shift and goes, so your teacher called,
All right.
got the belt too. Then my godmother
Oh, this is getting
comes
good.
all the way from Alabama,
Whoa.
goes, so your teacher called.
I'm clapping it up for your family.
The
That's
only
impressive.
difference is instead of a belt, she just had a flip flop. That's it.
Okay,
It was about the same.
yeah, wow. So your teacher never called again, right?
I never spoke.
He was fixed, right? It never happened again, right? Yes.
I wanted to ask, with like classical conditioning, is it like, this is a different example, but would it be like, if you're dating someone, you're mad at them, and you like give them the silent treatment so they don't do something specifically ever again, is that the
That's
same?
classical conditioning, especially if they don't do it. So whenever they see that silent treatment, they know I did something wrong, I don't need to do that again. Yeah, that's classical conditioning. Now she's gonna try to go work this. But that's what classical conditioning is. In this research, there's a psychologist, his name is Pavlov, and Ivan Pavlov what's his name? And he was studying the salivation of dogs when they were presented with food. So when the dog presented the food, the dog would salivate. There was a tube on the dog's mouth to record the how many liters or how many grams of salivation the dog produced at the sight of the food. So, there were times he would present the food, the dog would salivate. There are times he would just ring a bell, the dog doesn't salivate as much. So what he did, he paired the food with the bell. So he would ring the bell, present the food, the dog would salivate. Ring the bell, present the food, the dog would salivate. Repeated this. So once he did not present the food but ring the bell, what happened? The dog salivated, yes. So that's classical conditioning, when you're taking something, a neutral stimuli, which is the bell, with something else, and it changes the behavior. So the behavior that was modified was the salivation. So our behaviors that we gave example to that was changed was that discipline. Whatever it was, it fixed that behavior. And so that's how we learn. So these are the different theories of learning: operant, cognitive, and classical. And if you take psychology courses, you'll go further into that. Now, the second part of our lesson is to talk about our self-concept. Who are you? Let's check the time. Who are you? Your self-concept is based on, we will only talk about 3 aspects, but there's more than 3. But we're focus on these 3 aspects. Your physical self, how you look and your opinion of your physical self. For some people, this is where they stop right here. Because if you can't get past this, then the next 2 areas of your self-concept will be very difficult to define. How you look. How you look is how you look. You did not choose your look. Your parents didn't choose your look. I promise you. Some people, I know when I was younger, back in the day, this is way back in the day. Don't judge me. Okay? I was thinking, this is, back in the day, this is before interracial relationships were, more popular now. It definitely wasn't then. You would think, as a girl, you wanted to date a guy that had nice hair, because you believed that your hair plus the nice hair will produce children with nice hair. That was your thoughts. Or you wanted to date somebody fairer than you. I'm a darker skinned woman, so that your children could be a little fair. So that was, all of that is about self-concept and just stuff that didn't make sense. Your children thinking about these things. But your self-concept is based on what you think about your physical appearance. You didn't pick your nose, your parents did. Your parents came together, they didn't say, hey, we're gonna produce this kind of child. No, you just popped out, they were like, oh wow, that's what my child looks like. Oh, look at it, got my nose, got my ears. You put them together, like, it kind of look different, I remember when my brother, and I still tease him to this day. I'm 3 siblings, I'm the last child, last born from my mother. And my brother, this is what they said, I don't know, because I was a baby when he was small. But they said that he wasn't the prettiest baby. So when my mother would take him out, and you know how ladies would look at your baby, they'll stop like, oh, your baby is he's so cute. She's like, stop lying, don't boy ugly, okay? But he was a baby, he didn't know that that's what she said about him, okay? We were told later, he's so handsome now, he's so handsome, he's doing great. But the thing is that nobody chose your creation. Your parents couldn't decide, you can't decide. How you are is how you are. If you cannot get over your skin color, your skin texture, your hair, your shape, the way your body formed, at this stage of our life, your body is still gonna form that same form. You can do some push-ups if you're a guy, do some muscle toning. Girls, you can do some squats, build some things up, do some things, but you cannot change your physical self. There's some alterations that can be done medically and whatever, but you can't change it. This is how you are. So if you can't get past how you are, how you look, your hair, your skin, anything about you, you can't get past the other things, and you'll never develop a healthy self-concept. So in this class, how many of you has had some challenges with number 1? Physical self. Either this class is great, nobody had any challenges except in physical self. Nobody? 1, okay, all right. So the goal is to make your mind and just accept it, okay? Number 2, social self, the roles we play during our social interactions. Do you try to please everybody? Or are you trying to be somebody that you're not? Just to be accepted. You have to define your role. Who are you? Be you, do you. That's what people want. That's what the world wants. That's what you want. Okay? Make sure that in any social relationship that you are being authentic to who you are. All right? And the last one is your self-concept is based on your own inner core thoughts and experiences. You know, you have experiences, you have thoughts, and they have shaped your self-concept. But at the same time, people have had experiences and thoughts, and they did not allow it to shape their self-concept. So you determine who you are and how you are. You determine how other people see you. You determine that. If you see yourself in an inferior form, in any shape, in any adequate, if you see yourself as inadequate or inferior, people will see you that way. That's life. See yourself. Why can't you be the best, God's greatest? I mean, the world's best. Why not? Why can't you be that? That's who you are. That's how you should see yourself. Okay? You have to value you. When you value you, others will value you too more. What is your prophecy that you have about yourself? What are your expectations about you? Are you expecting to succeed, to come to a certain level of success? Are you expected to go to the ceiling, which is higher than the floor, but are you expected to go to the sky, or is your limit the heavens? Okay? You determine how far you go in life. That's it. It's based on what you believe and what you see. Now, it doesn't mean that every attempt, every effort that you make is going to land you as president or as the absolute best, but it will make you the absolute best to you. So that's what you have to work on. Be you. So even if you're doing something and it didn't work out, it doesn't mean that you're inferior unless it just didn't work out. That's just life. Maybe you're applying for something and you wanted to do something and you wasn't chosen. It has nothing to do with you. You just wasn't chosen. Simple. Do something different. Or keep at it. Keep going. Get a clearer picture of who you are. This is very important. Because when you know who you are, other people can't define you. Do not accept a label over you from anybody for any reason. Whether it's ability, whether it's socially, whether it's in relationship, do not accept a label that doesn't fit you. I don't know if I shared with this class. Did I share with this class that they wanted to label one of my children as special ed? Okay. I did not accept that label from my son. He was in 6th grade. I said, no, absolutely not. You will not put a label on my child. Absolutely not. I never saw him that way, never treated him that way, and he never knew that that would ever be in any way associated with who he is. And he became salutarian. Didn't even think about it, okay? Because once you accept a label on you, it will define how far and where you go in life. So don't accept it. Your self-concept is influenced by others. It is true. It can be influenced by others. There are some people that have expectations for you that have the right to have an expectation for you. Who are those people that have a right to have an expectation for you? Your parents. Why? Because they invested into you. So they have the right to have a return, to want a return on their investment. So their return on the investment may not be if they wanted you to become a medical doctor and marry a surgeon or a pilot. It may not be that, but just be great at whoever you are and do what you chose to do. Let that be their return. That you're proud, they're proud of who you are. Let that be their return. Other people's views about you can have effect on you. Some people will put you down. Some people will downgrade you, try to humiliate you in so many ways. But you have to refuse it to allow it to define you, your self-concept about yourself. Refuse it. No. Never accept anybody speaking negatively about you. Never accept it. If it's a boss, it does not matter. You cannot say something about me that is not true. You're lying. Absolutely not. Now, when it comes down to people speaking negatively about you, know the difference when somebody's telling you the truth that you don't want to hear versus someone speaking negatively about you. Because sometimes the truth may sound negative, but it's the truth. So know the difference. When it's the truth, you need to face it, accept it, make some changes, or when somebody's trying to put you down. You'll know the difference. Self-esteem. You must build a positive view of yourself. This is lifelong. How you see yourself now will change how you see yourself in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years. Okay? You have to build your esteem. Nobody can give you esteem for yourself. You have to have it for yourself. It's for you. Self-esteem, a low self-esteem can produce failure. Why? If you fail, it does not mean you're a failure. That's one thing to remember for the rest of your life. If I fail, I am not a failure. I just failed at that. But I am not a failure. Okay? So we always remember that. Do it again. Do something different. And succeed in something else. Succeed the next time. But you're not a failure because you failed. So whenever there's in your life you see something that didn't work out right, oh well, deal with it, accept the consequences, but do better, move forward. Have expectations that you will achieve your goal. All right, accept who you are. Now, when you accept who you are, accept who you're not. Understand your strength, understand your weaknesses, and understand the things about you that needs to change. But accept who you are. Know who you are. Know your self-worth and begin to pat your own self on the back. Because everybody's not going to be there for you. Did anyone play a sport or had an achievement and nobody was showed up for you to clap for you? Anything. You could have received an award. Maybe it was a game. Or they recognized you for doing something great. Any of these things, anybody had something, did something, and nobody showed up? Oh, God bless y'all parents. He's always there for you. All right, but in life, it won't always be that way. Okay? And sometimes what it does, it builds people up with a false sense of esteem because it's based on the support and praise of others. Like the generation before, you didn't have to be there for them. Okay? They're gonna show up and that's it. Even other countries, I know Nigerians, and they would play. One person told me that throughout his whole academic history, his parent never came to the school. Never. Only once when he was there. That was it. And they were in boarding school, so they didn't play. Any sports game, they were not there. It wasn't their business. The child's business was to learn. Parents' business was to do something else. That's just like different cultures, different societies, okay? So just know that everybody will not be there to pat you on your back. So when you have your children, you're raising them up, you have to think about how you want them to be and how you want them to have esteem for themselves and be built on the right things. We're going to pass through the cycle of failure because you're not going to fail. Because you're not a failure. You can fail, but you're not a failure. Okay? Now, one of the last things I want us to hit is to develop a personal mission statement about who you are and a definition of who you are. Does anybody can define themselves, like have a very strong, at this stage in your life, you know who you are and you know who you're not, and you have a definition for yourself? Anybody? Anybody would like to share? Because some people have it, but they may not want to share. Anybody? You have a definition of you. Who are you? Somebody said, who are you? What would you say? Who are you?
I would say my name.
You say your name?
Yeah.
Of course, right? Because that's basic. But now, like, is that Rafiki and Lion King? But who are you? So who are you? Can you go deeper and say, this is who I am? Give me one sentence. Who are you?
I'm a mechanic.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even know that. He's a mechanic, y'all. All right, cool. Who are you? You just say, okay, can you go deeper? Give me one sentence about you.
I don't know, like, how to describe myself. Steven.
That's a good question. How do you describe you? That's better. How do you describe yourself?
Good student.
A student.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What about you? How do you describe you? Okay, I'm a kind-hearted person. Yeah. Everybody's not kind-hearted, which is, everybody has their area of grace. How do you define you? How do you describe you?
I'm a very generous person.
You're a very generous person. Okay, I need 500 right now. Not that generous. Okay. All right, Jose. How do you define you? You don't know? All right, Matthew. How do you define you? Who are you, Matthew? Hardworking sometimes. I'm a hardworking person. Yeah, I'm hardworking. Yes, ma'am. How do you define you? Yes.
I'd say I'm very selfless.
Selfless? Oh, yeah, that's some great definitions. How do you define your answer?
Giving.
You're a giving person. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I would just say that, like, without, like, sounding, like, self-absorbed, I would just say I think I'm a really classy person, and I care a lot about what other people think about me, and my perception on other people also that I associate with, and I care about my future and whatnot, so I put that, like, as a priority, so I guess I'll probably say, like, that's the kind of person I am.
Good. All right. Some people feel these ways, but they just don't want to share all of that. But thank you for sharing. Syed.
Yeah.
Tell us about you. How you define yourself?
I listen to things and read them carefully and write them down, memorize them.
Okay.
And also,
Analytical, very thoughtful, methodical.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Yes, Anthony. How you define you?
I just get up. Like every time I'm knocked down, I get up.
Resilient.
Yeah, there you are.
There you go. You're resilient. You are, you're not a quitter.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. You told us. How do you define you?
Me?
Yes.
Broke.
Well, there's some other descriptions.
Plan.
Even she's generous. Hey, look up. All right. All right. So how you define? And she's kind-hearted. I mean, they hard workers, so they ain't playing. They be like, bro. All right. How you define you?
Honestly, stubborn.
Okay. You know yourself. You have a great seat. You understand. So any other positive descriptions you want to give yourself to? Now, stubbornness could be bad and good. It depends on how you're stubborn.
That's
Okay. So being stubborn is, in a general sense, is not good because it means that you're not going to bend. Even when you know the truth, you hear the truth, you see the truth, you're just not going to do it. Anybody can agree that that's who you are sometimes? A little stubborn? Maybe not this class? Okay, some people are not really gonna say, but someone might be, okay, but they may not be. But being stubborn in the fact that this is right and I'm gonna stand my ground, that's good stubborn, okay? But tell us something a little bit,
A little bit.
like your strength, like one of your strengths.
Man, I'm pretty spiritual, I guess.
Okay, all right. Okay, but you have a good self, you are honest about you. You know who you are, you know where you are. That's good, because then you can change where you need to change. All right, so develop your own mission statement and write it out. Having a personal mission statement can help you stay on track, stay on target about why you're here on this earth, what you want to accomplish. Why am I here at school? What do I want to accomplish? Of course you want to get your degree. Of course you want to get that certification and so that you can be qualified to do that work. In addition to that, why are you here? Think about it like that. This is not the only reason why you're here. There's so many other reasons why you're here. There's so many interactions you would have on the process, on the journey, so many things you can learn on this process and the journey, in addition to getting that degree, in addition to getting the credentials you need to work. There are other reasons why you're here. What about relationships? Man, there's so many people that you can have good relationships with or learn something from people from all over the world just by being here. So develop your own personal mission statement. This statement can change throughout your different seasons of life, or it could be something that is a general, broad one about who you are. Okay, you have to evaluate it, think about it, all of that. Although we should consider the ideas and opinions of others, we need to make our own decisions and choose our own path. This is life, this is truth, because life is a choice. There's so many people I wish I could go into them and make them do the right thing, but we can't. Life is a choice. Choose the path you want to make. Choose your life. It's your choice. How you live, what you do from here, from today, it's your choice. If you succeed, that was your choice. If you do not, it was your choice. Okay? Do not think that it's because of X, Y, and Z. That's not true. It's a lie. It is you. You can do anything you want to do. That's life. It's all things are possible. But choose your own path. People can encourage, influence, but they can't make your decision for you. So choose well. Have a wonderful day.